Yeah, yeah, it's a live show, and it's
Okay, okay,
we've got
okay. Yeah,
technical difficulties.
actually didn't. I'm glad I didn't belch or anything like that. Asking you to cut it out later.
No, that's okay. I mean, we like everything to be natural, you know. Um, so, like I was saying, yeah, the point you make about Brave is really interesting. But when I downloaded it, and it said to me, adverts are not available in your region. I didn't know whether it was just me in Thailand or whether it was just in Asia in general or what it was. But you know, for me, I thought I'd heard all these good things about Brave, and then it wasn't going to work in half of the world. It was going to exclude half the people on the planet because it's not in Asia. I was really, really surprised by that. So Netbox Global got us, you know, a good 6 months to a year head start on Brave, and I keep looking back in to see what Brave are doing, but so far it just doesn't come up to scratch as far as Netbox is concerned. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I agree. I prefer using Netbox a lot more, and it's interesting. Um, I've got an affection for certain things, like my first computer that I ever had was a an Apple computer, Apple Macintosh,
mm,
way back in the day, and always had an affinity for Apple products as a result, and I always liked the unboxing of the Apple products, even though right now I'm not a big fan of Apple because of some of the thing after Steve Jobs passed, they kind of went to a different direction. But
yeah.
for Netbox, I have a similar affinity to the browser. There's something about it. It's like when I load it up, the interface. There's something about it that I really connect to, and I've got this more so than Brave, than Chrome, or any of the others.
Yeah, yeah, I got it myself. I closed it down just before I was about to start the show. Accidentally loaded it back up again. All my tabs are there waiting for me. You know, I don't know if that's a new thing with us or all Chromium based products, but yeah, it's just growing on me. The more I use it, the more I like it. Um, is there anything you don't like about it, Constant?
I really, with all products can be improved, and so there is something. Again, privacy is a big, is a big concern, and while there is privacy, again, that can be improved in all areas, and so I'm sure that's one of the areas where um, you know there could be some improvement there. But that's the only thing that I can, that I can say. I really love in addition to the browser itself, because um, I'm big into the blockchain. I'm big into cryptocurrency, as you mentioned. So
Mm,
beyond the essentials of it being a browser, I love the staking features of
yeah,
the the platform. So the fact that not only can I send and receive currency anywhere in the world without any restrictions, I don't have to be, Thailand or wherever,
sure.
but I can also hold my Netbox coins,
Mm,
and our ambassadors are probably cheering over there. That I said coins
yeah, coins.
instead of instead of tokens. But I can hold them on the platform and receive a return on that.
Sure.
So that's really awesome. And then if I wanted to take it to another level, I can also run a entire network, supports the entire network and helps the network to stay up and running. So I really, that feature there. If you put your money in the bank, in the United States, the interest rates are nil. But with Netbox, I think the last time I checked, you could get 35% return on
Yeah.
your on your coins
On your
by holding
coins,
them
yeah.
on the Netbox platform.
Okay. So do you have a master node of your own? Is,
Yeah, actually, currently I have three master nodes. I'm running three master nodes. I started with my first master node over a year ago, and I staked, and then once I got close to I think 10,000 tokens, I put a little bit with that and started another master node. And I just recently
mm,
started another master node after entering the ambassador program a couple
o-
weeks ago.
okay, and the ambassador program. Now, we've not spoken too much because you're on the Telegram side of Netbox, and I'm on the Discord side. But
Okay.
we're both in the ambassador program. So why do you think? What do you think of this ambassador program?
I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think it's a great idea um, for for the team to conceptualize this and to implement it. I mean, it's a win-win. Number one, you have a company that is utilizing the resources of fans of the project, and
Mm,
that have different skill sets that can bring different things to the table, different resources to get the word out to more people and to expand its reach. And then for the ambassadors get an opportunity to share it with their community, and also an opportunity to purchase Netbox coins at a slight discount. So it's a win-win for both parties.
oh, I didn't know about the slight discount. I shall have to have a word with them about that. But
Yeah,
that sounds good.
yeah.
Yeah, um, I had John McAfee on this show about a month ago, and
Mm,
we were talking about the future of cryptocurrency, and he said it's very much a question of making it work, actually getting the coins, using the coins. Um, uh, it doesn't matter which coins we're talking about here. There should be some crossover between coins in the future. I should be able to use my Netbox, send it to through an intermediary to anyone who's into their cryptocurrency. So
mhm.
how are you actually using your Netbox coins at the moment? Are you using them?
Yeah, so I, again, I'm using them to stake. I'm running my master nodes, and then I'm using them as payments uh, for some of my contractors. So what I'm
Mm,
doing for adoption and utilization is I'll start paying them in regular fiat, and then I will say, hey, listen, I want you to try I want you to try this browser for me. Let me know what you think about the browser. They'll use it for a while, and then I said, okay, well, I want to start giving you a portion of
yeah.
your pay in Netbox tokens. So maybe I'll give them 90% in via PayPal or whatever method of payment, and then a small portion in Netbox coins.
Yep. That sounds interesting. So you're introducing people to it and letting them discover the browser, get some coins in their wallet, and kind of encourage them to into the project.
Exactly, exactly. Because many of them are, they have knowledge of cryptocurrency, but have never used a wallet, never created an
Mm,
electronic wallet before. So it's like a staged process. And one of the things that I'm doing is I've created you know, like whatever I do, if I'm working on something, whether it's volunteer, whether it's for pay or whatever, I put myself in the founder's shoes. And so what I started doing last week was writing up a marketing plan, a marketing strategy. Like if this were my company, how would I do this? So
Ah.
one of the and I'll introduce that into the into the group, share that with Concours, and hopefully he'll share that with the team.
Mm.
But one of the things that is important with with this with the browser. If you look at the internet and the mass adoption of the internet, there's two major things that caused the explosion of the internet to go from like 80 million people back in like 1997, 98 to over like 2 billion people
Mm.
today using the internet. And that was the web browser. Simply the web browser caused mass adoption.
Yep.
So when you're talking mass adoption in cryptocurrency, what is going to be that catalyst? It's going to be the same thing. So I I'm sure Netbox knows what it has, but
Yeah.
sometimes, like I've met beautiful women that have had no idea how beautiful they were, had no
Yeah.
idea. Sometimes you meet a woman and she knows how beautiful she is, which is another problem. But I think Netbox has something, and I'm not sure that they fully comprehend exactly what they have. Now, there's competition. There's competition everywhere, right?
Yep.
So, we've got Chrome, we've got Brave, we've got of course Microsoft, their products, the Edge. Um, but if you look at the number of competitors, you're really maybe talking only 4 or 5 serious competitors and a couple of other miscellaneous. But I think the real opportunity here for Netbox is not necessarily with the tokens or the staking or the master nodes, but
Mm.
it's really in the browser itself.
Mm. Mm.
And people who have no idea or maybe even no interest in cryptocurrency, those are the people that we should be going after to get them on the browser. Now, just one last point. If you look at, if you have 10 million people using a browser, 20 million people using a browser, now you got a serious asset. And that's how like Facebook, Facebook, they weren't monetizing. They didn't have, advertising at the time, but they were just getting all of these users on the platform.
Mm.
And once you have 50 million, 100 million users on the platform, now you can attract investors. Now you can start monetizing things. You can open it up to advertising, where the users now have a choice to what, just like Brave, where you have a choice as to whether or not you want to receive ads and receive tokens for those ads. So that's kind of the marketing strategy, and you're like the first that I've shared this with. Like but I'll be introducing that, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, they may look at it and say, oh, this is nice, and put it in the circular file, or maybe take components of it. But that's one of the key components in terms of mass adoption for cryptocurrency, and also to grow the Netbox community.
Sure, sure. And I liked your analogy because I think the simplicity, the simplicity of the browser and the wallet, the way the wallet opens up, it's like a beautiful woman that doesn't know that she's beautiful.
Right, right.
She's got character. There's something about her. You just want to be around that browser because it's just so
Right.
simple and the way it's put together. It doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be over the
Yes.
top. It's just perfect the way it is, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I get that feeling myself as well, you know.
Yeah. There's genius in simplicity, and in and there is in its most simplistic form, the Netbox browser. It's beautiful. That's the best way that I can describe it.
Sure, sure. Now, you still haven't told me something you don't like about it, so I'm gonna talk about what the thing that bugs me. Um,
Okay.
it's the referral program, and I
Mm,
wondered, are you using your reference link? I'll put the reference link in the video, by the way. But are you using your reference link when you introduce new people into the browser? How's that going for you?
yes. Yes, I do use the referral link, and I actually use it on um, like other different platforms. Like pre-search is one. I don't know if you've heard of pre-search, but pre-search is an extension that you have on your Chrome browser or your Brave browser. So when you do a search, it goes through pre-search first, and then it displays an advertisement, and then it goes to the Google search. So when people type in um, a word who have the pre-search, and they've got maybe like 15 million users on there, so it gets a lot of traction. So that's probably the main source where I'm getting my Netbox signups. So
Okay.
somebody will search, and then Netbox will come up, and then it'll go to the. So I mean, it's going. I don't have any complaints about it. I'll see my new signups coming in, and I'll see my Netbox tokens that I'm getting from my referrals.
Mm,
But I haven't been tracking it enough to say, I definitely can't buy a boat with the Netbox coins that I've earned
sure.
from the referral program.
Sure.
But
What?
share with me what your biggest gripe is with the program and
Well,
how your suggestions for it.
yeah, with that, and I think it's part of the reason they don't make it an unlimited referral link. When you first join, you're given just three referral links for three friends, and if you've got an audience like I have and like you have to actually ask for a referral link that
Right,
with unlimited uses. Um,
right,
and I think the because I'm having problems actually getting all of the payments through for all of the wallet creations, and I've noticed that some people who come into Discord, I don't know if it's like this on Telegram, but people on Discord are often saying, "Oh, I didn't get my 20 NBX sign up. I didn't get this." Of course, we tell them, be patient, just wait for your browser to sync up. Um, but I have noticed that although they do eventually, most people do get their 20 MBX. I just wonder how many people we're losing because of this problem. And when I
yeah,
look at my list, if I look at my list of referrals that I've got, there are lots of people that signed up under me, but I didn't get some of the bonuses. Now
mhm,
I'm not complaining about it. I'm not here to make money off of referrals, but
yeah,
I'm wondering whether this could be something that the team should be looking at. And if I have got one gripe, and it's only one gripe, this is the only thing. I've got to be
yeah.
fair. I've got to say what I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely sounds like an area for improvement. There's also another dynamic going on with that I know is a real thing.
Mm.
There are there are people users who try to abuse the program.
Sure. Yeah.
So so they're using VPNs. They're because it's only supposed to be you get 20 NBX for one desktop
Mm.
computer.
Yep.
So you'll have people that are out there creating bots and things like that. And there's another program. I won't mention the name of the program, but they had people that were creating like 1,000 accounts because they were giving away. What did they give away? It was something like five of these coins or 10 of them for
Sure.
everyone that signed up.
Sure.
So they create 1,000 accounts with Autobots, and then they take those coins and then they would dump them on the market, which would take down the price. So Netbox, it seems like they have a really good security mechanism to detect when people are so that's kind of the balance there. And then I'm sure though that there's innocent bystanders getting hit in the crossfire
Yeah.
with. So the question becomes, how do we balance that so that we are not so that we're keeping out the bad actors,
Mm.
but we're not punishing those new users who are this is their first time and that they should receive their NBX coins.
Sure, sure. I mean, I'm the same. When I was a kid, I had multi accounts. When I was playing games, I'd have like two or three accounts and see if I could get an advantage. So I know that people do that. Yeah, for sure. Um, but it's like, and whenever someone comes into Discord, you kind of think, well, be patient, give us some time. And you don't want to accuse them of cheating the system, But I guess at the end of the day, if if it's a system that's been designed to stop people from having multiple payouts, illegal payouts, then it's something we've got to live with, and I guess it's probably a positive rather than a negative for.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And like you said, there's the balance with that. But we want to make sure that the people who are supposed to get their tokens, that they do get their tokens,
Sure.
and not only that though, it's not whether or not they get them, but it's how they felt during the process. Like if I go to check into a hotel and there's no room available,
Mm.
and 2 hours later, um, I'm waiting in the lobby, and someone finally says, "Okay, here's your key," and that's it. I still got to have a bad feeling about that. But if
Right.
someone says, "Hey, listen, I'm really sorry. We're sorry about the delay. Here's your key, and we want to give you an upgrade to a suite or something that and makes me feel
Mm.
better about it." But the key is that they came to me and apologized and said, we're sorry about this. We want to make it right. So I think that's one of the, you know, something that could possibly be, tweaked as well. There's not a lot talked about in terms of like customer service and things like that. And I come from a big customer service background in the manufacturing
Sure.
industry. So that's so really big on that. So that's one of the things that could possibly help.
But I hear what you're saying, but I mean, you're on the Netbox Global Community Show, and the whole idea of me starting this show was because we are a community coin. So customer service is going to have to come from us, the ambassadors, and it's going to have to come from new users. If you want to get in on this project, we're looking for community people to come in and help us and really grow this coin,
Hmm.
grow this project. And I guess
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you don't want people just to come in for 23 NBX, as nice as it is to get $1 in your pocket. You know, um, you do you don't really want those people. You want the people who believe in the project, and I do hear that as well. Um, so,
Absolutely.
as ambassadors, you say you've got a working plan. We're talking to Concours. Um, have you got any juicy gossip? Any plans that you can throw out there at the end of the show?
Well, I'm going to actually I leaked a really key part of that. And again, we're talking about simplicity.
Yeah.
There was a there was a real story of a truck that got stuck underneath an underpass because the truck was too high and it couldn't go. And so the fire trucks and engineers, structural engineers, were there for hours trying to figure out how to get this truck unstuck from this underpass. And so after about 6 hours, there was a little 8-year-old boy. He was looking around at the situation, and he said, "Why don't you take the air out of the tires?"
Mm.
And so the firemen and everybody, they looked at each other like, "Duh." So many times the best answer is the simplest answer.
Sure.
So there's a lot of complex technology operating in the background. Master nodes, blockchain. We
Yep.
just went through we just went through a fork, staking mechanism. But let's not forget people that are listening, ambassadors, community users, hopefully some of the team members are watching this or will see it. We are in our core a browser, and there are billions of people using a browser.
Yep.
Now, once you get them using your browser, you open up a world of opportunity, just like Facebook.
Sure.
Facebook got you on the platform, got you hooked on it. Now they're feeding you all types of drugs and things like that to keep you coming back. So that is the secret sauce, my man. There's some other stuff
Yeah.
going with it, but there's nothing more important than in terms of the possibilities, than focusing on that browser and getting a person to use a browser. My neighbor downstairs, I can say, hey, look, I know you guys have been using Microsoft Explorer for years. For me, I want you to try this new um, browser for a week, and let me know what you think about it. I don't need to mention tokens or anything like that.
Yep.
Now, maybe a week later, they say, "Hey, I got these 20 coins,
20
coins,
coins. Yeah.
slap, slap. I got these 20 coins. What is this about?" And then now we
That's a
have an
bonus.
opportunity
Yeah.
to expand it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you're right. Look, with all these things, and it's not just this project. I'm in Discord, so I see a few other crypto projects talking about this as well. Of actually use case. Use case is the big thing. We have a working browser that is rewarding us for using it. We have a use case instantly. Um, I'm really looking forward to the lottery. I think the lottery could be. I need to be able to spend my coin. I need to be able to spend my Netbox NBX. So I'm really
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to be able to seeing what happens with the lottery. And I'm really looking forward to the payment card, because I
Mm,
feel as if I could put my coins onto the payment card, and again I can use it. And once I'm
right.
using it, once I can actually see myself win this use case scenario, then I really feel like we're really on the path to finding the Wizard of Oz and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Good points. I mean, utilization is important. Things like the lottery, and um, you know also partners. Identifying partners. I was looking at some of the developments that were going on in the ambassador program that are really good, looking at DApp partners and also potential partners. But if we've got stores and shops that can accept that will accept Netbox coins,
Yeah,
and we provide some incentive for them to do that. So now we're purchasing our items, or maybe we're purchasing applications, our SaaS products, or maybe consumable products that take these coins.
sure. I think you're right. And I said it right at the end of the John McAfee interview a month ago. If there's someone out there in the global community who can build us a website, or facilitate or come up with some ideas for getting the NBX coins in use, please let us know.
Yeah,
Talk to anyone in Telegram or Discord. Come in and let us know what your skill sets are.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I go back to, though, once we get users in mass onto the platform, then there's a lot of things that we can do. So it's difficult to go out to a vendor and say, hey, we want you to start using this coin,
Mm,
but there's only 10,000 people using it. There's only 20,000 people using it. Now, once you go and you say, hey, we've got 5 million users on the
mm,
platform,
mm.
and we know we can direct 5% of those traffic to your business.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
now you got it. Now you've got an ear.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
got
Yeah, I think we're somewhere close to about 100,000 at the moment. I know we're probably, well, I think we're coming to the end of the airdrop, the end of the free 20 NBX to sign up. That may be going for a few more months if we're lucky, or after this show, we might get 20,000 people sign up to tomorrow, um, and it'll all be over. But the curve will go up. It'll be exponential when it rises. I think we just need to reach out and get more people in.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, there's, you know, I've been a part of 8 startups. Two startups were funded well. One was a $40 million startup. Another was a $100 million startup in China. So I know you're in Thailand. I lived in Wuhan, China, the the epicenter of where all this crap started. I
Yep.
was there for I was there for 8 months. That was a hundred
Wow.
million dollar startup to produce automobiles. But
Mm,
the other 6 startups have all been bootstrapped. It's all been where we started with our own seed,
sure.
and we had to build it up from scratch. So I'm very, very familiar with reaching out using guerrilla marketing tactics when we don't have a
Mm,
$10,000 a month budget. Um, Contacting folks and knocking on the neighbor's door and sending out emails. And how many of us have 200, 300, 500 people on our email list? How many of us have 1,000 connections on Facebook?
sure.
And one of the awesome things about Facebook has changed a lot since they went public, and have basically made it impossible to grow these business pages unless you do paid advertising. But one of the things that they do have is that you can have someone like a page, and I can have, like, I've got, what do I have? I don't know, I've got like 1,000 connections on Facebook, or 1,200. I can go through all 1,200 of those, and I can ask them to like a Netbox page, and Facebook will instantly send it to all of them to start liking that page. So there's a lot of guerrilla marketing tactics that we can use as users to go out and start getting that word out on Instagram. I'm not sure how much we're, and I'm
No,
you know
I don't know.
I just entered the ambassador program, so I'm brand new in the in the ambassador. Has it been? I don't know. It may be a week, so I'm brand new here. Just literally just kind of hitting the ground, trying to hit the ground running, but still just hitting the ground.
Sure. That
Uh, none the
it's
Nonetheless, but I come with, I've had a lot of years of experience of getting knocked over the head and hit over the head in certain areas. So I know what works well, and what doesn't work, just from just getting slapped around by
absolutely, yeah.
by
Yeah.
life. So hopefully I'll be able to share some of those things, some of those pains that I've went through, that the team and the community can avoid, and just expand Netbox to its fullest potential.
I mean, that sounds really exciting, and I'm not very good with some of the things you're talking about. I kind of get the idea of what you're talking about. I wouldn't know how to do it myself, but maybe if you want to get together and do some training, I could be your guinea pig, your student, and you could teach me how to do some of this guerrilla marketing, and we could teach the team, teach the Netbox global community how to do it, and we can all reach out together.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Like one of the tactics that I've used in another startup that I'm actually a co-founder in, is we would get usability testers to test the platform. Actually, actually on Lumios. I don't know if I mentioned Lumios, so I don't know if we were recording or not, but which is how I got connected with Netbox.
Right? Yeah.
We we got usability testers to go in and start testing this app. We want you to go in, we want you to answer the questions, and let us know what you think about this. And for this, we'll give you, and I'm switching, we'll give you 50 NBX coins. We'll give you 100 NBX coins for
Yeah.
testing the platform. We could easily get 1,000, 2,000 just by doing that. So I
Sure.
was able to get 500 on Lumios just by getting usability testers. So that's just like one idea, just off the top of my head, how
Yeah.
we can get
Yeah.
people.
That's a good.
So yeah,
That's because you're talking about the attention economy. Like I give you my attention, and and you get paid for listening to this. And that actually reminds me, I forgot to do this right at the beginning of the show, but I needed to add some lemons to the show. So I'm putting 50 lemons in the chest because we're D Live. D Live is a bit like Netbox Global. It's part
okay,
of the attention economy. So people come and watch the show, and um, we can reward them. At the end of the show, well, I'll open the chest, and anyone who's been talking or in the chat throughout the show, listening to our conversation about Netbox Global, we'll get some of that 50 lemons. So actually, let me think about this. We did have our own chain on D Live. We've just gone over to the Tron network. We're using BTT tokens on the Tron
mm,
network. But
okay,
whatever,
BitTorrent,
yeah, BitTorrent, that's the one. Whatever that means, the IDAs are the lemons, so I'll be giving those out at the end of the show. And I think,
interesting.
yeah, this goes back to what you were talking about at the beginning of the show about Facebook. Facebook took all of our data and took all of our information, built our profile, sold it to the highest bidder, and where's my $5, Facebook? They
Yeah,
didn't give me anything, did they? So,
exactly, exactly. And it's interesting that you mentioned BitTorrent. BitTorrent was another one of my clients. I worked for BitTorrent doing marketing for BitTorrent, and this was before Tron purchased BitTorrent. And they
mm,
told they told me, they said, we're going to be getting into cryptocurrency. We can't talk about it right now, but over maybe the next 4 or 5 months, we're going to move in that area. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Sun ended up purchasing them, and I was like, ah. But here's the thing with BitTorrent, they are extremely restricted in terms of how they can market. Every post, every content idea that I had to be reviewed by an attorney through BitTorrent because
wow.
of their history and background with file sharing and
Mm,
things like that. So a lot of people have like you know think of BitTorrent as being this kind of rebel, but they're actually probably one of the most compliant companies on in the crypto sphere in terms of making sure that they do things right. So I give the BitTorrent example and contrast that with Netbox, where they don't have any of those restrictions because they're not under a microscope for file sharing and peer-to-peer file distributions or anything like that. So the window of opportunity and the possibilities are endless in terms of how to reach people through Netbox.
sure, sure. There's a Mark Rigby has just said, "Can you talk about Netbox app? What is it? What is it, Mark? What did you want to talk about? What specifically is it you want to talk about in the Netbox app? Um, Give me a proper question, and I will ask away for you." Um, yeah, someone else is saying, "Yeah, give me 100 NBX, and I'll do something like that for you. Well, I think that's going back to the what were you talking about? Like the surveys.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So for just okay, so I'm going to mention this this project.
Mm,
Uh, I wouldn't mention the other one, but I'll mention this one, Energy. So the Energy project, good project, good team. There's some serious issues. Well, there's one serious issue that I have with the project, and that's it's unlimited supply. So every month there's a million um, coins produced uh, in
wow.
perpetuity to infinity.
Wow.
So there's like 27 million today, and 10 years it'll be like 150 million.
Yeah.
So I really like the fact that Netbox has a limited max supply of about 75.
One 100 million. 100 million total.
100 million. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Current supply of 75 and a max supply of 100 million. I
Yep.
really like the limited supply and the fact that it's small. A
Mm.
billion, 2 billion, and even with BitTorrent, they've got something. It's some ungodly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
I think
billions. Yeah.
it's at least 100 billion. It's at
Mm.
least 100 billion, if not like a trillion. It's something that's like really. Do you need that many? Do you need that many tokens?
Sure.
Um, but I really like the fact that Netbox is so now if you can take that that limited supply, but with energy, going back to energy in their chat room, if you go into Discord, you guys try me out. Go into Discord, go into the energy chat room. Any time of day, 24 hours a day, they are chatting there, literally 24 hours. And the reason they're doing this is because every 15 to 20 minutes, Energy does an airdrop
Yes.
of of their coins,
Yes.
and they'll they'll give out a certain amount of energy every 15 to 20 minutes. Now, if you calculate what they're giving, it turns out to be, and I think in terms of U.S. dollars and pennies, it
Mm.
turns out to be something like point zero 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 one of a penny.
Sure.
Point
Sure.
point zero.
Sure.
But for that point 0.00001 of a penny, you'll have people that'll be there for 6, 7, 8 hours
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
to,
And
to get that.
but I'm on the Discord side of things. Do you use Discord?
I use Discord. That's where I've got maybe I'm on 15, at least 15 channels in
So
Discord.
so you're talking about, are you talking about a rain channel?
A rain channel, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
because
Energy rain.
there was actually someone who came into Discord just the other day and asked us whether we wanted a custom built rain bot, or a bot that we could put into our Discord that we could rain. And I know about these rain channels. I'm part of Rock and Rain,
Right.
which is exactly this. They set up um, um, parties. They have DJs. They do parties with music and just mass rains of a coin, and you don't have to give away a lot of money. But people will sit in these channels and talk to each other and build up the community for
Yeah.
literally fractions of a cent. I've seen it over and over, channel
Yeah.
after channel after channel. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
sure if they are the right people we want,
Well,
but
yeah.
they are
Well,
people.
yeah, there are people, and now let me clarify.
Mm,
I'm not saying that Netbox should do that.
yep,
I'm not recommending it. What I'm saying is what the principle is what people will do for just fractions of pennies. They're not calculated in terms of pennies. They're looking at, ooh, I'm getting NRG. And
sure.
so now if you're looking at like one NBX, which is, at least 2 cents. I know it's, gone,
Yeah, yeah,
down a
it's
bit, but
between 2 or 3
so,
cents.
yeah, yeah. So if you're talking about the ability to earn 2 or 3 cents for activities,
Mm.
um, then it brings in a whole new dynamic. Now, one of the dark sides of rain, because I like to observe and experiment and draw conclusions. And
Mm.
I spent maybe for about 2 or 3 days, I spent a great deal of time in this energy just to kind of research. The dynamic was that you need to communicate, you need to say something in there.
Yep.
And there was no real discussions going on. There was just a lot of hi, present,
Sure.
and the sting of there wasn't real engagement and interaction uh, going on at this party. It was almost like the
Mm.
people were on acid or drugs and
Sure.
just
Sure.
so that's like the downside of doing that, which is why I'm not necessarily recommending rain. Maybe
Yep.
it would be good to maybe get a boost or something like that, but long term. Um, but the principle though of people being willing to work for tokens or
Sure.
coin.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I very much feel like that. At the moment, I maybe get 2 or 3 coins a day for activity. Maybe I'm earning another 25, 30 for my staking. So I'm maybe earning between 50 cents to $1 a day, something like that. But I'm not
Right,
thinking like that. I'm thinking about when one coin is worth $1 a coin.
right,
And all my work that I'm doing for cents today will be like 25, $30 retrospectively in the future. That's the way.
absolutely,
It's like a pension fund or a
right,
college fund or a yeah. You have to think about this as if you enjoy doing it, and that in itself is the payback.
hmm,
Your fingers crossed it's going to make something in the future as well. You know, that's the way I look at these things. I'm only investing my time. I'm not necessarily investing heaps of money, and I like that. That's what I think a lot of these people are thinking in these rain channels.
yeah,
And I've spoken to them, and I've done it myself. I've collected from one rain channel. I've taken all those coins, gone off to an exchange, exchanged them for the coin I really want. You know, so
mm,
I know how these places work, but the big question is, are we talking about numbers, just getting lots and lots of people, like you were saying, using the browser and see how many stick around to see how good it is? Um, what is the best? What is the best tactic to draw
yeah,
people in?
yeah.
It's such a difficult question, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's an easy question, but the
Right.
answers is
Yeah.
becomes more
Yeah. Yeah.
more
Yeah.
complicated.
Yeah.
So if we take the example of the usability testers, there's going to be a certain amount there's going to be a percentage of usability testers that are going to use it after the usability test is over, and there's going to be a certain amount that will not. So what is that
Sure.
conversion rate? I don't know what that conversion rate would be, if it would be 8%, 10%.
Mm.
um, but the next question would be, how do we increase that conversion rate? How do we get them, after they stop using it, or after the usability test is over, after the payment is over, to continue using it? And so with Lumios, what I did was, in this case, I uh, there was one in which they were getting Lumios, and there was another which I was physically giving them $5 for each usability test.
Mm.
And because this was my client, I wasn't working for tokens. They were paying in Bitcoin. I was able to easily pay $5 per user to go on and use that. And
Mm.
so after it was over, I was able to get like a 20% conversion rate. 20% of the usability testers ended up using the platform after it was over. So with Netbox, we say, okay, if we get usability testers and we say, We can't give you currency or Bitcoin, but we can give you Netbox coins for doing
Sure.
this.
Sure.
Um, how do we increase the conversion rate after it's over
Mm,
with?
mm.
And my solution would be after it's over with, we could say, what did you think? And they would give us an analysis and a report. So we were really getting good feedback from the
Feedback.
from the
Yeah.
because they would give us these detailed usability tests in terms of it was slow to load, it crashed, and things like that. So now we're also getting valuable feedback in which we can adjust and develop the platform so that so that it will be helpful for other users. And so we said, now we can't give you as much as we gave you initially, but if you would like to continue using the platform, monthly we can give you a small amount of coins to continue using the platform. And I know Netbox is doing that already. It's something like maybe three
They will get that. Yeah.
NBX.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, that is the mentality of, you get someone to come into the tent and check things
Sure.
out
Sure.
and to get them to stay and, add some furniture and, build a restroom and kind of stay.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And we've actually got Mark. Mark is still in the chat saying, "What about the mobile app?"
Mm,
Lots of people in Discord have come in and said, "Do you have a mobile app?" And we say
yeah.
no, and they say, "Okay, bye." And it's like,
Yeah.
oh dear, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark. First of all, thanks for tuning into the
Mm,
show. Excellent question. I would say that um, other than my original strategy of getting people to use the browser, I think the mobile app is the number one issue that needs to be addressed,
mm,
flat
mm,
out.
mm.
Um, I'm a big Twitter user, also Instagram. I did a survey for my Twitter audience. How many of them use the mobile app versus use the desktop? I'm an old school desktop user.
Same here, yeah.
I gotta have a desktop. But I was surprised that freaking 75% of the respondents use the Twitter app via mobile.
Yep.
Uh, and then so I started digging further, and this was not just with Twitter, this was across the board. 70%, 80% of the users are mobile users. So
Mm.
I won't call it a huge gap or a huge problem, but I will say that there's a tremendous opportunity
Yes,
to get
yes.
more users into Netbox by creating a mobile app. So excellent question, Mark. Glad you brought it up, and that needs to happen flat out.
And it's like you say, this is all good feedback at the end of the day. Even if we can't give it now, we can think about it. We can really, and I do know I've been speaking to the devs for almost a year, and they've changed things. They had a firm roadmap, the white paper that is the and that white paper has changed slightly. They've added some products. They've changed things around. That there was a hard fork. There was the introduction of fees. There are things that have changed within the initial plan. They came to us with a browser that was working. They gave us a working browser, and then they said, "Okay, community, what do you want?"
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the mobile app is a difficult one for them to sort, to fix, to solve. Um, but I am sure that they have heard this question because everyone is asking them,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I mean, I'd be curious to understand what the challenges, complexities are with developing and deploying a mobile app. Now, if they're trying to make the mobile app exactly like the desktop, then I would say don't do that. don't make that the goal, because most apps that you look at, if you look at the app versus the desktop, typically there's a lot of features that are on the desktop that are not on the mobile app, which is could be
Mm.
one strategy where you roll it out to where it has limited features and functionality, but at least you have something, and then you could build on and build that out later, or
Maybe
maybe
maybe it will be when we have more products working on the browser, then we will be able to roll those out as part of an app rather than a browser on a mobile phone. Possibly that is where they're like we if we have more working products on the browser, maybe they'll do
yeah,
it.
it could it could, you could be right. If again, this is, if
Oh.
I, if I were to, if I rule the world, if I was the president, if I were at the head, if I were on the Netbox team, I would not worry about, like products. The main thing would be like the Netbox browser is the product.
Mm,
Everything else is everything else is optional.
sure.
The thing is the web browser. You want them surfing to
Yes.
be able to go to Yahoo, to be able to go to Amazon.com, to be able to go to wherever through that browser. That is the goal.
Mm,
Everything else, the wallet, the staking, the products, forget all that. Get a freaking browser
sure.
uh, as an app on the phone.
And then I guess we'll be using the wallet to buy things online.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be the goal if you've got a built-in wallet in the browser? Surely, I look for car insurance, I buy my car insurance with NBX, you
right.
know, bang, done.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
wow. I think we've pretty much come to the end of the show. We've been talking for over an hour, and I'm getting a stiff neck here. It's been lovely having you on the show, Constant.
Yeah,
Um,
likewise. I appreciate you having me on.
Sorry
It's been
for all
good.
the problems at the beginning. The video will maybe be a little bit disjointed at the beginning. Um, Maybe you'll come back in a month's time or a couple of months' time and we can talk about what's been going on. I'm looking for a double act.
A double X.
I'm looking for a regular team up, but I won't pressure you into that right now. No, no, it's okay. But hopefully you will come back on the show
Yeah,
soon.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to come back. This has been fun. Technology is always fun to deal with. So yeah, this is just part. Technology glitches and all that. Just part of the excitement and the development of the space that we're in, man.
Sure. Before you go, did you sign up to the D Live? Have you been watching it on D Live?
Myself,
Yeah.
I've not been watching it on
Okay.
D Live, probably because I probably wouldn't want to get distracted by seeing myself or anything like that.
Don't worry.
So, but I will sign up for D Live, so that I can check it out in the future. Maybe wherever the replay. Where can I see the replay?
The replay will be on, sorry, YouTube, because I haven't got a decentralized video storage at the moment, but I'll be putting it on Netbox when we get Netbox video storage in the
Okay,
future. I will open the chest. I will open the chest after you leave, then, seeing as you're not signed up to DLive. But I will make sure that you get the link. So to the video, I'll make sure that comes over to you once it's all done. I will post it into Telegram for you. Yeah,
okay, okay. Awesome, awesome. And so the last thing I'd like to say
go on.
is, for the community out there is, obviously you guys have a passion and affinity for Netbox, or you would not be watching the show, and you definitely would not have stayed this far. I'll tell you guys, like I tell, convey this for other projects, is um, let's start telling people about this. And I know you have. I know you've been sharing links and things like that, but uh, tell it in the most obscure places. I mean, we're not going to grocery stores as much as we used to, and there's social distancing, and you may you may get put in jail if you get too close to someone and try to tell them to join a Netbox browser. But start communicating this with family, with friends, with neighbors, everyone. It's kind of like food. Everybody that we know they would eat food, but everybody that we know uses a browser. And if you ask someone, hey, can you do me a favor? There's this browser that I just really love. I've been using it for a year. Would you mind checking it out? Um, you know, Most people are not going to say hell no. They're probably not going to say that unless
I hear you.
they.
Yeah.
So make a request and say, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. Okay, I'll send you the link. Send the referral link. So let's start getting the word out there, and I'm looking forward to sharing my little strategy with the team, and we'll see where that goes.
That sounds great, Constant. Absolutely wonderful. Well, there you heard it, guys. Let's get this thing going. Let's get Netbox global. Let's make it global. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well
Okay.
said. Well said. Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it. I
No worries,
appreciate
man.
you guys listening, and I'll see you guys in the community on the Telegram and the Discord. I'm going to start going in the Discord there and spending some time there as well.
Sweet. I'll see you
All
in there,
right.
Constant, for sure.
Okay. All right. Enjoy your Saturday or your Sunday. Right.
I'm going to go to sleep. Once I open this chest, I'm going to go to sleep. But you have a lovely afternoon, sir.
All right. You too. Thanks. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
Wow, there we go. That was Constant on the Netbox Global Community Show. An ambassador, because we are a global a community. We have ambassadors who are coming in to the project, helping us out with all manner of things. Um, Thank you very much for sticking around. It is 11:30 here in Thailand now. My wife is flat out asleep. I'm going to open this chest for you. Let me open this chest. There's 50 lemons or whatever they are. I'm going to open that up. Of course, you need to press your chest box um, and collect. If you wish, you need to be a follower. Yeah, there you go, Andre. Well done. Can I sign up as an ambassador? Mark, you need to talk to Concourse in Discord. But obviously he knows who you are. Um, just follow to make Earth great again. That's it. That's it. Follow and make Earth great. There we go. Mark gets all of them, Mark. There you go. 50 lemons to Mark. Because Mark was here and talking to us for the whole show. So that's exactly the way it should be. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for everything. I was going to talk about so much more tonight, but we had technical difficulties at the beginning. There will be a video. I'll make the video and put it up shortly, and I will talk about all the other things that we had planned next week. So make sure you come back and get some more lemons and have some more fun. And remember, download the browser and start earning some Netbox coins. NBX, it's a coin. It's not a token. It's smoking hot. If you've got a lot, you better hold. Be bold. Don't tell me you're sold. Yeah, you know. Okay, I'll see you guys. Good night. My name's Teacher Steve. Always remember to follow your dreams, but also stay home, save lives. Thank you.